In this video, I'm going to talk about problem framing. The best foundation we can have to create the most impactful solution is to start by asking the right questions. A great way to achieve this is problem framing. Problem framing helps with gaining clarity on what we need to solve through questioning and makes sure we are solving the right problem for the right people. It ensures we are not beginning with a solution in mind, and our team is aligned and looking at the problem from the same perspective. We will then be set up to solve the problem in a way that encourages the team to collaboratively reimagine better and more innovative futures. We use problem framing when we have a challenge to address, but don't yet have a clear understanding, definition, or agreement on what we need to solve for. Or when we are finding the way we are currently approaching our project is not creating the right results. To frame our problem, we use 3 sets of activities. The first set is generating the ideas to shape the understanding of our challenge. To do this, we use a technique called abstraction laddering. This is a way of reconsidering a problem that helps to explore and challenge the scope of what we are working on by asking why and how. Teams broaden and narrow the scope to check if the way we are initially looking at the problem is visionary enough or focused enough to move forwards with, so we can confidently capture it. So how do we apply this tool for problem framing? First, identify the challenge or theme to address. The second, in the middle of the abstraction ladder template, write a short statement that describes this challenge. Now, you need to think on your own and write down ideas to why we need to address this challenge. Place your ideas in the first row above the challenge statement. From here, write down ideas by asking why again for the ideas you generated in the first row. Keep going until you have at least 3 up for 1 vertical. Use the same logic and generate ideas by asking how we could make it happen and place your ideas in the row below the main challenge. Then you keep asking how until you have at least 3 ideas down for 1 vertical. Then you join the team, and with the team, take turns to share your ideas to why and how, and group ideas that are similar. And if it helps, give each group a label. Then you should explore your thinking further by continuing to ask why to what you have so far until you can no longer find the more broad or overarching reason. Repeat the same exercise with how until you can now no longer narrow your scope and have exhausted your knowledge of the topic area. The second set of activities is select the best ideas that address your problem by using Visualize the Vote. It works like this. Each team member has 6 votes. Now, again on your own, review the ideas and select the ones you believe resonate most with what we are trying to achieve. Choose 3 ideas for why and 3 ideas for how. These ideas don't need to be yours. They can be from anybody. At the same time, all team members are to place their votes on their chosen ideas. Then pick up the ideas that receive votes from the template and collect them together. Discuss with the team to identify a common theme from the ideas that were voted for. And here is an example of what a completed abstraction ladder template looks like. And the third set of activities is define your single problem proposition by using statement starter. Now, we need to summarize our ideas into a statement starter to use as a starting position for our project and stakeholder engagement. For this, we use How Might We statement starter template. Here, we are aiming to create an optimistic, human-centered statement that encourages creative and open-minded thinking. Look at the ways to summarize the ideas or highlight an idea that received many votes. Remember to think about what it means to the people we are designing for. During this process, I would like to ask you to think about these 4 principles when you are framing your statement start. First principle is do not embed a solution in your statement start. So for example, if you say that your statement starter is how might we use facial recognition to select people, you can see that facial recognition indicates solution. And all your thinking will be around facial recognition. But if you define the problem like how might we know who is inside the building, you can see you have many other options and facial recognition might be included in that. Second is, the principle is provoke a challenge. So for example, if you say, how might we reduce maintenance by 50%, then it might be better if you say, how might we create self-maintaining products? Then you think about how you inspire and reimagine. There are many ways to do that, and then we have examples on that too. Or the last and fourth principle is transfer agency to the other party. So for example, if you say, how might we convince our employees to accept the new policy, will actually be on your side. But if you say, how might our people become ambassadors for change, you're actually flipping this to your people who are going to change that. Here's an example of what completed statement starter template look like. Statement starter helps describe our problem in a way that set a direction for the next stage of our project. It's very important that you take your time to discuss this and write your statement starter using provided template, because that will frame your entire project from now on. See you next time.